So then, Palestinians in need of urgent medical care are set to leave Gaza through the Rafah crossing as it reopens for the first time in nearly 2 years. Ambulances and buses are transferring patients and some of their family members from southern Gaza to the border with Egypt. But Israel is severely limiting the number of daily crossings to Palestinians with prior approval. Only 50 patients with 2 family members a day will be allowed to cross, but there are more than 20,000 patients waiting for treatment abroad. This is the Egyptian side of the border where Palestinian returnees are waiting. Only those who left during the war can go back once they have security clearance. Israel has restricted that number to 50 a day. Well, for patients in Gaza whose injuries or illnesses cannot be treated locally, as Hani's just been describing, evacuation abroad can mean the difference between life and death. But, as we've been hearing, getting out takes time and it's tightly controlled. It all starts with a doctor in Gaza. If treatment is not available, the patient's name is put on a list for a medical transfer abroad. The referral is formally lodged at a public hospital, and from there the case enters Gaza's medical evacuation system. Hospitals forward names to a central medical body. A referral committee then reviews every case, and patients are ranked by medical need. Approved cases are then passed on to the WHO, the World Health Organization, the main coordinator moving forward. And the WHO then contacts patients and their family members to confirm identities and their medical details and to arrange paperwork. And it also approaches countries willing to admit patients for treatment. Finally, the names are submitted to Israel for security clearance. And then once approved, the WHO coordinates the evacuation. As I say, quite a process. Well, let's get an idea of how things are on the ground in the hospitals themselves. We can speak to Dr. Mohammed Abu Salmiya. He's the director of al-Shifa hospital. We're going to speak to him through a translator from Gaza City, so bear with us on that front. Dr. Abu Salmiya, first of all, tell me how many patients you have in need of urgent treatment outside Gaza, and then the number of patients that Israel is allowing you to actually facilitate them leaving Gaza today.
First of all, thank you for having me. As a matter of fact, all the Palestinians have been waiting eagerly for the Rafah crossing to open. More than 450 patients are of critical injury, more than 4,500 children with cancers, in addition to thousands of those who are in a dire need for critical surgery outside Gaza Strip.
So tell us more about how desperate the need is for the evacuation of some of those patients, because at the rate of 5 a day, it is going to take a long time to get to allow the exit of 450 patients, isn't it?
That's true. We are speaking that Rafah border crossing is the lifeline for those patients. More than 20,000 are in a dire need, including 450, as I said, of critical condition. 1,300 out of 20,000 have been lost, and we are still losing lives on daily basis. 4,500 children are included, in addition to 4,000 patients with cancer. And as I said, those who are in a dire need for critical surgery as a result of the war. According to the mechanism imposed by the Israeli occupation forces, it will take us years in order to allow for those patients to evacuate. 50 patients on daily basis is not proper. Even if those 50 are listed and the Israeli occupation forces may deny their exit, this dynamic is very, very dire, and we are going to continue to lose more lives.
I just want to clarify, you're talking about 5 patients in need of urgent care outside Gaza that have been given permission to leave. So on the basis of what Israel has said, that 50 will be allowed out every day, presumably there's then another 45 patients that will also be leaving today. Is that right?
الآن هو 5 ما صرح به
What the Israeli occupation forces said that they will clear 50 patients a day. Yet today only 5 will be allowed to leave. What was agreed with the Israelis, the Egyptians, the World Health Organization and the Health Ministry of Gaza is 50. This 50 will be included in a list to be forwarded to the Israeli occupation forces for clearance. As history has it in the past, many of those patients would, or some of them would have been denied exit.
Of course, the reason why these patients have to leave is because the Israeli destruction has destroyed the ability for them to be cared for within Gaza. Tell us about the level of that destruction and the problems that is causing you.
There is no doubt the whole world has seen that the entire health sector in Gaza Strip has been totally destroyed. Hospitals are working at the minimum of medical supplies and personnel. In addition to that, the Israeli occupation forces continues to deny the entry of medical supplies, appliances, or even volunteer doctors who have been crying for help. That's why when those patients are denied exit and we are not able to treat them in Gaza, this means it's a death warrant issued against them and they will be doomed to death. It is a premeditated murder with form designed by the Israeli occupation forces.
Mohammed Abu Salmiya, speaking just there from Shifa Hospital in Gaza. Thank you for that.
Don't miss out and get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.